In the previous example, we set our value based on a conditional piece of logic, and that was using the if function. However, this time around, we're going to use a different function, and this is going to be the OR function. In this case, what we're looking to do is consider a value that is in one of the cells, and then if it meets a certain condition, we want to return the value of true, or we want to return the value of false. We're basically doing the same thing that we were doing with the if statement, but this way it just works a little bit differently, and instead of specifying that 0 or 1 value that gets returned, Excel is automatically going to return a value of true or false depending on whether or not the value meets the condition in our example. That might seem a little confusing, so let's see this in real practice. In our cell, we can go ahead and type the equal sign since we're going to use a function, and then we type the word OR, and then the open parenthesis to get us started. Next, we'll specify cell B2, and then we'll say equals, and then we'll have the double quotes here, and we'll say power inverter, and then we'll end it with the double quote and the close parenthesis. When we hit enter, we see that the value gets returned as true, and that's just as what we expected because cell B2 equals power inverter, and that's exactly how the formula was set up. Now, another thing that you can do is you can handle multiple conditions with this OR statement. For example, what if we wanted to look at where it was power inverter, or if it was building materials, and if it met either of those conditions, go ahead and return the value of true, otherwise return the value of false. To do that, all we have to do is go back to our formula, and then after where it says power inverter, we'll put a comma, and then we'll put our new condition for where cell B2 equals building materials. When we hit enter, we see that this formula is still returning the value of true because that's what we expected from before. Then when we go ahead and we drag this formula down to some of these other records, we do see that they return false, and that's exactly as what we expected because there's no matching values with our formula. However, when we encounter this cell here, where we have a value of power inverter, we see that the value is returned as true inside of our formula.